everyone. Like you can see, my screencast will be about the text amongst the Turkana. First, a little bit about the geography, namely the area around Lake Turkana, which is named after the tribe because of the best post-colonial fashion. On the map you can see Lokishar. This is a little town we better know as Loki, where there are schools and the tribe shops there and sells things. The tribe also lives on the most hospitable places around this lake. We know this lake better as the Jade Sea or Lake Rudolph. Now a bit more about the identity of this tribe. Namely, they are feared and uncontrollable. The British people tried to control them when they colonialized this part of Africa, but they didn't really succeed in this. You will see more about this further in this presentation. These people live for their livestock in the correct order of importance: oxen, camel, goats, and sheep. They would do everything for their livestock, and this also means protected, and this makes them toughened warriors and why they are feared. They also raid a lot of livestock from the neighboring tribes, like the Toposa, who live on the border with Sudan, and the Karamanyong, who live in Kenya and Uganda. These people are also nomads who go from place to place around Lake Turkana, and they weren't really influenced by the colonial times because they are, or at least were back then, political and economic isolated. Sidrak Ikitila is one of the most important surviving people in this tribe because he's a warrior and has some sort of authority over them. He has, because of his mobile phone, his knowledge of Swahili and a little bit of English. This makes him the perfect person to communicate with modern Kenya, so the outside world for them. Now a little bit more about history. They defied colonization for like 100 years, but they didn't because they didn't really like the imperial power. The imperial power split up their land thanks to the borders they made in this part of Africa. So the lands of the Turkana was split up in Sudan, Uganda, and Kenya. And this was really irrational for this tribe. This tribe and their surviving part of their land was integrated in Kenya, but they were still cut off of all the trading and tourists of Kenya. But because of the closed district ordinance. But after the independence in 1964, Jomo Kenyatta repealed this ordinance, so people could travel there again and could trade with the Turkana again. And for the rest of the 20th century, they were left alone. Now a little bit about their religion. They are monotheistic and sort of believe in Kajui. He is not really a god, but more a creator. He is the bringer of rain, and this symbolizes life for these people. and they sing Naleo for an avatar who looks like a special ox and represents a warrior, and he is called Imong. A bit about the education for the Turkana, because they have to trade with modern Kenya, they have to learn Swahili a little bit. Not a lot of the young people from the Turkana do this, but the ones who go to school, which is a small percentage, can do this because of the Catholic missionaries who came to this part of Africa in the 1960s. One of the most important missionaries today is Father Tom. He has been working there for more than 40 years, and he has founded a few schools, the mission primary schools, and like all the missionaries over there, he introduced script to a language that was usually only oral, and this is taught in those schools, not only in Swahili but also in Turkana, which is the language that this tribe speaks. But Turkana is only taught in the schools he founded, and Swahili is also founded in the other schools. More about the traditional villages. They are called the Manyatas. They are almost invisible from a distance because they are made of natural elements. And like, for example, thorn bush enclosures are used for the livestock, and then domed huts made of bendy sticks and stretched animal skins are there, the huts for the people, like you can see on the picture, but you can recognize the villages because of the sounds of the animals. And their biggest fears, because of the education of the Swahili and a little bit of the English, they are afraid of losing their language and their identity. The older Turkana don't really have a problem with it because they never really know anything else than their traditions and their language, but the younger ones are taught to talk more Swahili, and they are really afraid that the young ones will never learn the Turkana language. But according to Father Tom, they might preserve their language with the help of the script that he learned them. So it's like in the Western countries where we live, the older languages from here are also a little bit preserved because of the written documents that we have. So this is the theory of Father Tom. And a few facts, like for example, did you know that there are about 500,000 Turkana, which is like a big part of Kenya, and wealth is counted with two things separately for men and women. Men are rich if they have a lot of livestock, and women are rich if they have a lot of necklaces, like you can see on the picture. They will never take them off, and this can go up to 5 kilograms of necklaces. So you can imagine that is pretty heavy for your neck. This was my presentation. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.